Hello everybody, my name is Tara and welcome back to the Three Bookshelves. Today I'm going to be doing the Try a Chapter Challenge. Technically this is the Try a Chapter tag, but tags usually have questions and answers and this is totally different, so I'm gonna call it a challenge. This tag/challenge was created by Book Paradise. I will link the original video up there and down there too. The premise is pretty simple. You read the first chapter of 5 different books and you choose the one that you like the best to keep reading. The 5 books I chose for this challenge are the first books of very popular YA series that I see all over BookTube, literally all day, every day. So I figure I should give them at least a chapter's worth of a chance. I'm gonna start with the book I think I am least likely to be interested in and work my way up to the one that I'm pretty sure I'm gonna love. And the book that I am most doubtful about is Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare, the first book in the Infernal Devices series. This book follows Tessa as she descends into 19th century London's underground to find her missing brother, and she aligns with the Shadowhunters against a group of vampires and demons and things like that who want to rule the British Empire. So I saw the City of Bones movie, didn't love it, but I thought it was mildly interesting and I was interested enough to look up the next book on Wikipedia. I didn't really want to read it, but I wanted to know what happened. So I read the synopsis and it read like a convoluted, nonsensical jumble of things happening that the author was trying to squish into something that resembled a plot, the same way a toddler tries to squish Play-Doh into something resembling a dinosaur. I have no interest in reading even a chapter of the Mortal Instruments series, but Cassandra Clare is so beloved all over BookTube that I want to give something of hers a chance. So Clockwork Clockwork Angel it is. One chapter down. It was actually a prologue. It was long enough, so I'm gonna count it as a chapter. And the prologue had 2 scenes. One had 2 guys, Will and Jem, who appeared to be shadow hunters. They were killing some kind of demon, and then they stumbled across the dead body of a 14-year-old girl. So some kind of mystery with this dead girl, I guess, is gonna be happening. And then it switched over to our protagonist, Tessa, who was arriving by boat in England somewhere to meet her brother Nate, only her brother wasn't there. He supposedly sent some people to meet her, but the whole thing seems kind of fishy. Overall, not bad. I didn't not like it. I think that I would like this a lot better than the Mortal Instruments series just because this is set in an olden times kind of era. 19th century London is a better setting, I think, for the kind of magic and demon stuff that's going to be happening in this series. So yeah, don't hate it. Don't hate it. It's a definite maybe. Let's move on and see what else we have. The second book I will be sampling is Shatter Me by Tahereh Mafi, which is the first book of the Shatter Me series. This book is about a 17-year-old girl named Juliet whose touch is lethal, and when she accidentally killed someone just by touching them, the establishment locked her up for murder. But society is now crumbling and rebellion is looming, so the establishment decides to use Juliet as a weapon in the coming war. I never heard about this series before I started watching BookTube, and now it is all I hear about. And somewhere along the way I got the impression that Shatter Me was just your stereotypical, overly dramatic, love triangle-y, Mary Sue-ish, yet another dystopian YA hot mess. I have no idea why, I have no idea what gave me that impression, but there it is. I probably never would have picked this series up outside of this challenge, but I figure a chapter can't hurt, and who knows, I might actually love it. Just kidding, this isn't the actual book, obviously. I couldn't find a physical copy of Shatter Me, but luckily Chapters has the first chapter of the book on their website as a preview, so that's what I'm going to be reading. So that was interesting. Chapter 1 of Shatter Me is quite short, and in this chapter we have who I presume is the main character locked up in a cell for 260 something days. I'm guessing from the blurb on the back of the book that it was for killing somebody. A lot of words are just crossed out and she fills it in with a better word or a better thought. Like they say, we hope you rot in this place, but then she crosses that out and she thinks something nicer. No idea what's going on with that. And then they, whoever they are, tell her that she is getting a cellmate/roommate. The roommate that comes in is a boy! It's a huge big thing. Oh my god, it's a boy. She goes kind of crazy. She clams up. She doesn't speak a single word to him. She just falls off the bed and scuttles into a corner. I don't want to call it a meet cute because if they're in jail, it's not really cute. but seems like a meet cute. For such a short chapter, there was a lot of exposition in it. And that's never a good thing. I like the concept that she's been locked up for so long. I like the idea that she is crossing out and replacing thoughts and things that are said with better thoughts and better things that they could have said. But the whole, oh my god, it's a boy thing, just no, don't like it. Don't care for it. Have no interest in going further with this book. So moving on, we have Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. This is the first book in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. Pretty beat up, it's a library book. That's what you get with library books sometimes. Percy Jackson is an average kid living an average life until his teacher turns into a monster and tries to kill him. So his mother sends him off to Camp Half-Blood, where he learns that he is the son of Poseidon and therefore a demigod. Percy and some fellow demigods then get wrapped up in a quest to prevent a catastrophic war between the gods. And my sweater's fallen off again. This was the wrong outfit choice today. So just like with City of Bones, I have seen the first Percy Jackson movie. I liked it better than I liked City of Bones. It was a fun adventure, didn't blow my mind, but I enjoyed it. But reading the synopsis for the book got me a little bit worried because it sounded a little sillier than I remember the movie being. And then I found out that the movie didn't actually follow the story in the book. So now I'm really unsure of whether or not I'm gonna like this. I really liked that. It was silly, but in a really good way. Just the title of the chapter alone is a big win. I accidentally vaporized my pre-algebra teacher. It gives me a little bit of a Harry Potter vibe because Percy is this young boy who thinks he's just a normal kid, but then he finds out that he's not just a normal kid. Because of that, I thought from the start that I might like this series, but yeah, the synopsis and the way it differed from the movie put me off, but really liked it. It was weird, it was silly, it was fun. I think this is the front runner at this point. And book number 4 is Red Rising by Pierce Brown, the first book in the Red Rising series. This book is set on Mars in a dystopian future where society is split into a color-coded caste system. Darrow is a red, which is the lowest caste in the system, and they're the ones who are working day and night to try to make the surface of Mars inhabitable for future generations. But then Darrow discovers that it already is, and the Reds are basically just slaves for the upper class Golds who are living on the surface. And from there he gets involved in a plot to infiltrate the Golds government and bring them down. I have no strong feelings about this book going into it. It seems like your average dystopian conspiracy plot, which I usually like, so let's see how it goes. Oh, there's maps. I like maps. This is tricky. This has 1 page of stuff, and then it goes into the actual chapter 1. Now I don't know what to do. I'm just going to count that as part of chapter 1 and read both of them. Well, that was confusing. There are a lot of names and terms in this chapter that I have no idea what they mean. I'm sure it's explained eventually, but I only get 1 chapter in this challenge, and I'm very confused by that chapter. So the chapter follows Darrow, the protagonist, on a drill job. They seem to be drilling for something called helium-3, and they reach a possible gas pocket, so his crew members tell him to stop, but he's like, no, I'm gonna go for it because we need this laurel thing. He gets to the gas pocket and does some kind of a reading on it, and then there's a smell that is bad for some reason. Yeah, it was confusing. You could tell that there was some background information being given. It was just in terms that we don't yet understand. So this might go on my TBR for some point in the future, but based on the first chapter, this is probably not going to be the one I choose to go on with. And finally, we have 6 of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, book number 1 in the 6 of Crows series. Another series that has the same name as the first book. I'm really getting tired of that. This book follows criminal prodigy Kaz Brecker and his crew, and his crew of 6 dangerous outcasts as they perpetrate let's try it one more time. As they perpetrate a heist that will make them filthy rich and save the world if they don't kill each other first. I think you get POVs from all of the main characters. I really hope you do because I love books with multiple POVs, especially when they are as different as the characters in this book seem to be. This is the book I think I am most likely to like. It's probably gonna stay on my TBR even if I don't pick it for this challenge because it just sounds like a book I'm gonna love. Oh, this has maps too. Maps, man. Maps are always a good sign. Juiced. What kind of a name is Juiced? Juiced. Oh, and Juiced has a mustache? Oh, I hate mustaches. That was very interesting. That had a bit of the same problem that, what was the other book? Red Rising had, in that it gave you a lot of terms and names that really didn't make much sense because you don't have the context for them yet. But I got the gist of it a lot better than I did with Red Rising. I keep forgetting the name of the book. So the chapter was not from the POV of Kaz Brecker like I assumed it would be because Kaz seems to be the main character, but it didn't. It kicked off with this guy named Juiced, which is the weirdest name. Juiced is a guard and he has been assigned to a wealthy councilman. He and a couple other guards come across a thing happening. The Grisha he has a bit of a crush on is in this big metal box room thing, and there's a little boy in there, and they are injuring the boy so that Anya, who is a healer, can heal him. They are testing to see how she handles that under the influence of some kind of drug. And it turns out she handles it pretty well. She seems to get some kind of telepathic powers from this drug. She tells the people who are keeping her there to do stuff, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. But yes, very intriguing, very intriguing. I am interested. I want to see what is going on with Anya and this drug, but yeah, I don't know. So let's go through them all one more time. Clockwork Angel, maybe I'm kind of interested a little bit, but meh. Shatter Me, the premise is kind of neat, but the first chapter left a lot to be desired. Red Rising, Six of Crows, I think will stay on my TBR. I think I do want to read this at some point, but if we're going by the first chapter, didn't quite do it. And that only leaves Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. To be honest, going into this, I did not expect this is going to catch my attention, catch my interest as much as it did. And I really liked the silliness of the first chapter of Percy Jackson. I really liked how fun it seemed it was going to be. And I loved Percy's voice right off the bat. It hooked me. I loved his voice and I definitely want to read more of it. So the winner of my first try a chapter challenge is Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. I am pretty excited to read this book. All of these series are all very popular on BookTube, but the Percy Jackson series seems a little bit different from your usual YA series. It does seem like it's a little bit more in the Harry Potter realm, and I love Harry Potter, so hopefully I'm gonna love this too. And that is it for my first try a chapter challenge. I think it was a success. I found a book that I was genuinely really intrigued by and I'm really excited to read. So I will go forth and read Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, and I'll tell you what I think about it in my second quarter wrap up sometime in June or July. If you've read any of the other 4 books, if you think that the first chapter isn't a great representation of the book itself, please let me know down below. Let me know your thoughts about those books. Let me know if you think I should give them more of a chance than just the first chapter. Thanks as always for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, you know what to do. I'm getting pretty good at saying all that in one shot. And until next time, everybody, happy reading. Bye-bye. Look at all these books. Which book should mommy read? That one on the top? Oh, I don't know about that one. Yeah, you don't sound too sure about it either.